What's up, traders? 7-Star Mike here, and tonight I want to go over a quick trade that I did today. It was a 59% gain, and I actually did two things wrong. I'm going to show you how you can do it better than I did. And if you like these kind of videos, please comment below. Let me know I should do more of them. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share it with all your friends. And now let's get into this trade right here. 59% gain on Apple. It was a day trade. If you wanted to swing it, you could have done better. Let's take a look at it. So the trade that I took today was based on unusual options activity. If you need a scanner that's scanning the exchanges for these trades taking place, I'm going to put a special link in the description below that will give you $20 off your first month if you want to try out the one that I'm using. So we got an alert at 11:36 that there was bullish flow for Apple. They were paying $1 per contract for the April 17 280 calls. Now there were two things that I did wrong with this trade, and I'm going to point those out and show you how you could have done better with this trade than I did. This green line here, that's where the alert actually came out. So the first thing I did wrong was we have resistance here, resistance here. I typically don't like to buy calls as we're heading into a resistance. And the reason for that is there's usually a pretty good chance that we hit resistance and then come back down. And you can see that's exactly what we did here. Now, the 280s are about 11 and change out of the money for this particular time. So what I've noticed in the past few weeks or so, we've seen some alerts that come out where they're pretty far out of the money, where we're kind of thinking at first, okay, that's a little too far for my liking, but those are actually working out really well. So that's the reason why I wanted to take this one. And I knew that the resistance was just above us here, but I was willing to take on that extra risk because I wanted to see if these $11 out of the money calls were going to pay out the way the other ones have previously. Now, the second thing I did wrong, and I usually advise this when I'm going over flow with other people, if you like an alert but not the spot on the chart, watch the chart and you can typically see a better entry for that same alert. And that's exactly what happened here. We hit our head on resistance and then pulled back. If you got in here, you would have had a much better entry than what I got. And I'm going to pull up the options contract and show that. So again, this green line is where the alert came out. I got in somewhere over here, just a little bit after the alert. I paid 102. This line you can see is 80 cents. So it pulled all the way back from 102 to 80 cents. Now in an options contract, 102 to 80 cents is a pretty big difference. That's a 20% difference there. So you definitely could have got a better entry than me. Now, we're not going to be able to time tops and bottoms, so I don't know if you'll peg the 80-cent range, but you still could have got a better entry than I did at 102 up here. So once I'm in, I'm watching this chop a little bit, and then I see these big spikes here. I exited somewhere around here. I think it was 163, so on this big green candle right here. Now, I like to day trade. So I like to get in there, grab my profits, and get out and not leave money exposed to the market. Now, these expire Friday and it's only Monday. So if you want a swing trade, you can see these all went all the way up to 212. So I got out at 163, they went up to 212. So this more than doubled, especially if you got in down here closer to 80 or maybe 90, 95 cents. These went to 212. That's a great trade. Again, since I don't like swinging too much right now, I'm actually looking for an entry to get out of day trades. I see this big spike in here. I took advantage of that to sell into strength and get out of that position. If you're swing trading these, you have potential to make even more than I did on that trade. Here's the confirmation. 102 to 163. This was the Apple April 17 280s. Apple April 17 280s. 102 to 163, that is a 59% gain. Cash is secured. I am out of the position right now. Whatever happens overnight, I'm not worried about it. It doesn't affect me. And if I like this particular trade again, I can always get back into it. That was an alert based on 100% unusual options activity.